And now back to your regular programming.
If you speak better to yourself.
You showed up for probably the dumbest conversation we've ever had on this show.
Let's have that smile again.
Tell me how that happens. Physically should not happen.
Relax.
If you say it
Give me as well.
3 times a day, God will line it up.
He's just an absolute hack, and he gets his ass kicked by the teammates every week. It's just terrible.
Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone and Sean Anderson. Today we're going to be talking NFL Week 8. Lots has happened. Packers looked great. Myles Garrett, he is living in hell. Giants, Falcons play like ass. Lots to discuss on today's episode. But a reminder to go and sign up for FanDuel. Today's episode is presented to you by, I forgot who our sponsor was for a second. Today's episode is presented to you by FanDuel. I'm operating on 10% capacity here with the cold that I have.
Well, I'm hoping people saw the lines for Monday night at FanDuel.
What were they?
Earlier, it was set at Chiefs 10.5 against a Jaden Daniels-less Washington team. So
Unless the line moved?
Unless they think Marcus Mariota is going to be rolling up in there, lighting the world on fire.
Marcus
Mariota. I think it's going to be Chiefs. Let's keep it simple today, right? Right? I'll lose. Don't worry. That says everything I need to know. Your little lets me know I'm losing.
It wouldn't generally shock me seeing some of these Monday night outcomes that something out of the ordinary would happen. We'll see what happens. We're not here to predict Monday Night Football, though. Packers-Steelers was a kind of a dud of a Sunday night game, but it was a great one for the narratives. It was a great one for the talking points, for the performance that the Packers put out there and the Steelers collapsing. Their hot start, it has completely fallen flat. We need to start hyping up the Packers, and here's the biggest thing that needs to be hyped up. Tucker Kraft might be the best tight end in the NFL right now. And I think that more people need to respect that he is in that conversation, if not leading it. He's second in the NFL in yards. He's second in touchdowns. And he's also leading tight ends. Those stats are for tight ends. He's also leading tight ends in yards after catch. He is one of the most dominant, physically gifted tight ends that we have in the league right now, and he's playing in an offense that accentuates his skill set.
He's starting to look a little Gronk-like with the yak stuff, not the big contested catch Gronk stuff. Hey, before you start snarling your lips at that statement, the yak stuff. When he gets the ball in his hands and the big horse starts running downfield, who's tackling him? Who is tackling this guy?
No.
I mean, he is a brick shithouse when he gets the ball in his hands and he gets into the end zone. I think his fantasy, this is not a fantasy show. I think he's outscoring Drake London every week fantasy-wise. A lot of wide receiver ones he's doing better than. And guys, we're not picking him up in the second or third round for sure. The Packers are scary. Also, Packers fans and Packers reporters are like, hey, we want Jordan Love to throw the ball more. Normally at this time of the year, you got a quarterback that's on the good, great divider line. You're like, oh, let's get the run game going. They want this guy airing that ball out. I think he looks good when he does it. He looks confident, and he makes the easy plays that are actually hard look actually easy. I know that's a tongue twister there, but he had a beautiful, Love had a beautiful sidearm pass to Josh Jacobs out of the backfield that a billion other quarterbacks throw right in the defender's hands, right to J.J. Watt bearing down on him. He even leads the running back. He's doing the little things at an exceptional level right now. The Packers are hot. I don't want to play them. I wouldn't want to see them.
Jordan Love is the best example, and this is a recurring narrative that's talked about. He's the best example for why you can't panic on how a guy is performing before he's fully developed. You just can't. The kid sat for a while. His first time starting and contributing, he struggled. He didn't play that well. But there's a reason why he was drafted in the first round. And there's a reason why guys like him that are as physically gifted as him, as natural as he is, get opportunities. And we're seeing that come to full fruition now, where their wide receiver room, it's not that gifted. It's solid all the way around. They've got some really good players, but they've yet to have an established guy who is a true wide receiver one. He's not like Drake May, who's throwing to Stephon Diggs. He's not like Michael Penix, who's got Kyle Pitts and Drake London, all the options that he can turn to. Mm-hmm. He's not like once J.J. McCarthy comes back and he's got Justin Jefferson to throw the ball to, Joe Burrow being able to have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. He's got a bunch of dudes that are solid second and third options, mostly third options on other teams. And I think now that Tucker Kraft is emerging in the player that he is, it's just this perfect connection. I think that like after we're going to now be in November for the remaining stretch of the season, it's not hot takey. Everybody's saying this after the way that they played on Sunday Night Football. The ass whooping that they put on the Steelers is reflective of, I think, what they're going to do the rest of the season. And I think that they have the best shot and should be considered the best team to get the bye in the NFC other than the Lions.
I'm confident in it. I liked what you were saying about their skill guys. Christian Watson was back. He actually had a bit of an impact on Sunday night against Pittsburgh, which is good to see, like Christian Watson, like what he could be in the NFL. It's a little Chiefs-like after Tyreek Hill left, where we're running the offense through the tight end. We have a hard-nosed running back, and we got a bunch of guys that just need to go out there and run the scheme, and we can score points and move the ball. That's all you got to do. Run it through the tight end then. Run your offense through the tight end. You can win games if you got a guy that can do what Tucker Kraft does. I didn't think it was a dud, the game itself. I think that the Steelers jerseys hurt them in this game, narrative-wise, genuinely. Yeah. If your team looks bad on TV in the uniforms, you get like the spread, you should have -3 points added to you on the spread. You should have worse odds. You should be punished for stuff like that. And I love the gimmick. Let's throw out the ugly retro uniform, because it's ugly and it's retro and I love that stuff. It's history. It's NFL. It is. I'm a purist and an NFL historian almost. No. I love the history of the NFL. I love the tradition. That is,
some history. Close. To call yourself a historian.
I know. I appreciate the historians. I like NFL films, is what I should have said.
Big difference.
What they did on Sunday night with the Packers wearing all white and a white helmet, and the Steelers wearing all yellow and a yellow helmet, go screw. Those teams should play in 2 uniforms. They're regular uniforms. Steelers yellow helmet, Packers black helmet. The jerseys are the same jerseys they were wearing in 1967. It's all it should ever be.
I wish, I do kind of wish somebody would just go full highlighter. And like, can we get the Jaguars? Feels like a team that would do that if they just went.
Their throwbacks are too good.
Don't even have any bordering on the numbers, or it don't even have lettering on it. No names on the back. Kind of like Penn State's jersey, but just neon yellow.
You want to know something? I think that it's been like, I saw a crazy stat about the Cardinals that they haven't worn different colored jerseys and pants in like over 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons.
And who hasn't?
The Arizona Cardinals. They've been wearing same color on same color in every game for the last couple years. Like, it's been a long stretch for them of wearing red on red.
Their eggshell uniforms are dog shit.
Oh, you're tripping. Also,
you thought those were good?
They're better than their pajamas that they roll out there in every week.
Those are awful. Those eggshell uniforms.
We had the highlighter unis.
Looks like someone sneezed when they had diarrhea.
People didn't. That's not what it looks like. That is not what they look like.
You're telling me
you're not going to bash those. We had the highlighter uniforms. They were in 2016. Remember those? We called them Color Rush, and you all hated them.
No.
You all hated them.
I want it.
How about the Seahawks neon green on neon green? We had those. You hated them. You don't want those.
You can't tell me this doesn't look like somebody didn't sneeze when they had diarrhea.
That's what Miami was wearing. That is.
You can't say anything negative about. Oh, you're talking about the University of Miami.
Yes,
the camo look was a little.
That's diarrhea on a jersey. The Cardinals is like a light gassing, if that is a term.
Well, speaking of Miami, they completely clowned all over your Falcons. I got to be honest with you, as I had to cover the Giants game yesterday, I didn't get eyes on this because I legitimately thought that this was just going to be a quick and easy trouncing. I didn't know that Kirk Cousins played in this game. So when I saw the score and I started digging and I started to see what happened, it was Kirk's fault. So I allow you to explain the 34-10 drubbing that occurred.
You know what? It wasn't Kirk's fault.
It wasn't?
It was. Kirk sucks.
It was.
Right. It was. Okay.
Don't.
Okay. I'm not blaming this all on Kirk, and I'd love to. Kirk is awful. I may have been on record saying that he was the best backup in the NFL. He's not. He's not even close.
He's not even tradable. It's the worst thing that you could have had happen to you is him playing and him being so butt cheeks that now you can't do anything with him.
This guy still looks injured as shit. Like where'd the rehab come? How are you this slow? Oh, there's another Kirk sack. Kirk Cousins doesn't just take a sack and get blown up like other quarterbacks in the league. He turtles down, cuddles the ball, and then falls to the turf. And that is not what NFL quarterbacks should do. I don't care if there's a higher risk of injury of you standing straight up before you get blown up by a D end. Don't make that move on a field. That is tooting that thing up for the other team, saying, go ahead, take it. Take it. We don't want to win this game. This is what our quarterback's doing. The Atlanta Falcons have an awful depressive energy about them, where every win feels like a surprise and every loss feels like a I told you so moment. I know you've been there as a Giants fan in recent history where, you don't even feel that good about a win because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
On the other side where it's like, okay, could you string this together a little bit? Could we see some consistency? No, you suck. We hate you, Mr. Fan of this team. You're awful, and you're the reason we're losing, not the coaching, not the awful bad offense. And you know what? It's getting to the point where all of the main, I guess, I don't know, highly regarded film guys like Kurt Warner, Dan Orlovsky, I get he's polarizing, but he does watch film and he was a quarterback. Kurt, they all go over this offense and they all come out thinking, what are you doing? Like that, they're not saying, if you make this one little fix, or if you maybe use 12 personnel a little more, or targeted Kyle Pitts more. It's confusion. It is a bewilderment of what an offense could be operating like.
Well, you have the most explosive athletic personnel group in the entire NFL at every single position, yet somehow you manage to shoot yourselves in the foot. That's the thing that's really troubling about this, is that you scored 10 points even with Kirk in the game. You would have thought that there would be some sort of
Bijan had 9 carries.
Steadiness to it. Why is every play not a screen or some sort of deep shot to Kyle Pitts and then a handoff to Bijan? Like, why is that not? Forget the stupid nuanced bullshit where it's like, we got to get him the ball in space. Just give him the ball. Just give him the damn ball.
Here's the really interesting thing about that, Joe. I love that you brought that up. That is their offense. It is hand the ball off the Bijan, throw it down the field. But because they work so much in the pistol and they use so little play action, if they line up in the formation, their base formation with Bijan Robinson in the backfield, that means one of two things: run left, run right, or maybe Drake London slant. That's all it means. And the stubbornness, it's almost like high school football when your coach is like, we're going to run it down their throats, fellas, and we don't even need to pass the ball. We're just going to run it and run it and run it. They're going to break down. They don't. They won't break down. They can't break down if you have no variability with your run game. It's literally run between the tackle to the left and the guard to the left, and run between the right guard and the right tackle. That's all it is. It's easy to stop. Miami has been put on blast lately. Bad coaching, soft team, collapsing. Tua can't talk at the podium. Tua had an infection in his eye, had to wear a visor, and one of his eyes was swollen during this game. What did he do? 205 and 4 touchdowns. How does that happen? And you know what? The pregame, it's all a lie. Stats are a lie. The numbers are a lie. Anybody telling you it's the best defense in the league, you suck, because it's not true. And everyone knew it wasn't true. Everybody was just trying to champion Atlanta because the last time they saw them for real was when they shut down the Vikings in week 2. The defense blows. It's all bad, Joe. It's all bad. Raheem Morris sat his starters, Michael Penix bone bruise, and sat Drake London because it was Miami. I genuinely think they thought they could skate by Miami and didn't have to play a full 60 minutes. And like, all right, let's let Kirk run this one. And we're not going to give Bijan a heavy load. We'll be able to beat this team. You can't. You're a bad team.
Well, spirits are low as well for the Chicago Bears after they lost a game that they desperately needed to win. They had a lot of momentum climbing for them, and it's kind of a similar circumstance. You think that you're getting a dead body of a team that you're squaring off with, and instead you drop it to Snoop Huntley. Now, the one I think real talking point from this game is what Derrick Henry has done as he's moved into 5th place all time in rushing touchdowns with 112. He passed Walter Payton. This is like a spot where I think when we talk about Derrick Henry, how much longer can he go? And does he have any feasible possibility of breaking any more of these rushing records? Because I'd like to see it. I would like to see a modern running back do it. And he's the only one who's physically built to do so.
I think the last one I remember being pitched as being able to get it was Ezekiel Elliott. I heard Todd Gurley shouts because he went on an insane tear in his first 3 years. Derrick Henry's consistency, though, is putting himself in a really good spot here. I think he has to get Tony Dorsett, LaDainian Tomlinson, and then he's not touching Emmitt Smith, 164.
So Marcus Allen is 123. Adrian Peterson is 120. So he realistically at 112,
he could get to 3.
With this season and next season, he could. But 145 and 164 is probably not plausible for him to cross. But I would argue I know that those guys were Emmitt Smith is somewhat modern and LaDainian Tomlinson was more modern because he was after Emmitt Smith. But considering the usage of running backs in the NFL these days, where it's a lot of multi-running back looks and there's not a lot of season-by-season consistency, if he finished third, I think that's incredibly recognizable for what he's done in his career.
Especially in such a pass-heavy league. It would be awesome to see it. I love Derrick Henry. You know anybody that doesn't like Derrick Henry, by the way? Have you met anybody?
No, because I think that naturally when you've got a dude who's just a big-ass hoss who just runs people the hell over, it's just an automatic that's fucking sick that rocks.
I haven't heard anybody say a bad thing about him being a bad teammate. He's always great at the podium. Derrick Henry looks as good in a football uniform as anybody has ever looked in the helmet and pads in NFL history. Ever. That guy is football. I'm glad he's still in the league. I'm glad he's still scoring touchdowns. Here's what I'll say. He looks thin. He looked thin on Sunday. Like maybe I'm not saying he needed to slim down a bit or lose a bit of running weight, but he looked healthy. I don't know. It's always weird with running backs. They're always built phenomenally. The legs are always strong. They got six packs, big arms, and then they get older and you're like, you look at them, you're like, how is he not still scoring 12 touchdowns a year? And it just stops. So I'm going to stay on the Derrick Henry train as long as I can. I hope he does the Adrian Peterson farewell tour where he just starts hopping around
on every single team for 10 minutes. And that would be a sick bit if he just kind of he signed a 1-game contract for every team.
That'd be
get one touchdown and then pieced out.
Here's the thing. I don't think he can catch Emmitt Smith. I think he can put together another 15 to 20 over 2 years with just random.
He's 31. Teams. I don't think it's not. It doesn't feel implausible for him to play until he's 35, considering he does not have much of an injury history. So it feels theoretically possible that, again, I don't know what he does in the next couple of years. If I was him, I would sign to a team off of the agreement of you're only going to put me in a goal line situation.
Oh, yeah.
So he doesn't waste
or in the second half. Hey, bring me in the second half.
No. Just only so he can get touchdowns. Short yardage.
That, though.
But I think that by the time he's 33, you want to be able to really stretch that thing out. Let's see if we can get him to 37. Let's see if we can really, really get the most out of him, because all that long downhill running and you're touching the ball 20 plus times a game and you're over 32 or whatever, that's going to catch up to you real quick. We don't know what could happen to him physically, but if he just hops on the field for a team that, what if he went to the Falcons? Just started taking all those touchdown carries.
Do the Steven Jackson bit. I'd love it. Here's what so
he'd be the perfect Patriots running back.
It'll be, like do the
Derrick Henderson every single play. And then on the 2-yard line, he comes in and then he just finishes the year with 20 touchdowns.
Here's what's going to happen. It's going to be like 4 years from now. Derrick Henry's will probably get one or two more contracts. We're going to have Derrick Henry as a 1-2 back. We're not expecting a ton, but he's still got a little bit of juice. That's what I see it happening. After that, maybe he doesn't get picked up. Concerned about the age, maybe it's an injury. But that, I don't know, 4 or 5 years down the line, some team loses their lead back, and then you hear Derrick Henry signed off of waivers. And then that first time you see him in a practice jersey and a helmet after a year of not seeing him, that's going to hit like crack. That is going to get the league going again. I love this. I love this arc for Derrick Henry.
I don't love this arc for the New York Giants.
Oh, no.
Knowing how they played on Thursday Night Football, I think this was inevitable. This was the only way that the second time playing them in 3 weeks could have played out, where they were utterly embarrassed. Everything has gone awry as it possibly could. And now Cam Skattebo, who was the one of the few exciting, fun things about this team. Now we still have Brian Burns, who teams want to now trade for, which I don't think that they're going to trade him away. Every team in the NFL, though, that wants a pass rusher is like, we can just go get Brian Burns. They're not trading away.
Give you Kirk for him.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Jackson Dart is, of course, exciting, and Abdul Carter's done some great things. But, man, it was fun watching Camp Skattebo run. And to have a guy who was clearly changing the culture in the locker room, and to have a player who was really motivating and rallying his teammates, hearing all those guys talk after he got hurt, just loving his personality. Apparently, he was texting Brian Daboll at 4 a.m. this morning after he got surgery. He's just that much of a nut. Not having him on the field, it sucks. I think that he truly is a part of the future of this Giants franchise. But here's the craziest part about all this. He's such a physical runner that I would have thought that the injury he would have suffered would have been like something.
It would have been a neck.
Well, not a neck, but something that would have been caused by enduring too much contact and playing too physically. I thought
linebacker neck stuff. That's what that is.
A freak ankle injury. That is the last thing that I thought was going to happen with Skattebo, that he was just going to get ripped from us because of him landing awkwardly and his foot getting caught.
I'll say that I'm squeamish. I don't like seeing the injuries.
I didn't
on
see
TV.
it, thankfully.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It wasn't as bad as the Dak one.
I've seen a billion injuries, NFL injuries, football injuries on TV, seen plenty in real life. The ankle going the other direction's nasty, but it's not the blown out knee. It's not the bone popping out of the skin. Like I didn't think it was that bad. And then also on Red Zone, they gave you warning. Hansen said, "Hey, we're going to show this to you."
They showed it?
Look away if you don't want to see it. And then
that's crazy.
And they gave you a warning. I actually applaud the way that they operated and giving you a choice.
Puppy approved of that.
It was the right way to handle it. Show the injury. It's fine with me. Give context to the devastating injury. It's bad for the Giants. Skattebo, my God, his energy. I mean, he wove him. He and Jackson Dart created a new cultural fabric for the New York Giants, which is crazed, play hard, like my hair's on fire with life. The Giants have been bad. They haven't been without talent, but they've been bad. And I guess what you need is a little bit of life, a little bit of energy, some kids that are going out on the field playing their dicks off. And that's why I couldn't quit them. I felt it. I felt it through the TV screen. How many Skattebo jerseys do you think are getting sold every week?
Do you not know how to say Skattebo?
I do.
This is the whole point, though. This is why, because when you have a bad team, it's at least fun to watch the young guys play hard and put their bodies in the line.
There's always someone to root for.
This rocks. And I wrote an article about this, how their play styles and their energies, it's exactly what represents New York. A bunch of hardworking, grinding people that just are trying to get to the next day, to get to their next thing. And it felt like that was how they were playing. Get to the next play. Just get to the next play. Fight for every yard that's in front of you. And now we don't have him. And now Jackson Dart's just kind of out there on his own.
Yeah.
He's just dicking around.
That's rough. I don't think he's dicking around. Here's what I'll say. I've been talking a lot.
Well, he is dicking around because he's not doing anything that means anything. Wait, hold on. I'm obviously saying that he is performing very well. I'm saying him performing well means nothing because the team is bad and the team is not going to go to a playoff.
Slayton looked okay.
I think that it's the perfect description here to talk about him dicking around, not in a bad connotation, because I'm watching him fight for his life and run away from pressure just to throw balls to guys who aren't going to catch it. That's basically what this has turned into. He's doing a whole bunch of something only for his teammates to give him a whole bunch of nothing.
Well, just let him go out there, keep getting better. I'll officially say I'll quit this team for now. I know I had been a big proponent about, I'm not quitting this team this season. I'm not quitting this team for the future, Joe. Out of all of the 2-6 and below teams, the Giants have the second best future in the NFL right now, only behind the Baltimore Ravens, who will get above the Giants at the end of the year and win totals when Lamar gets back. But I see the Giants having a better future than Miami, the Jets, the Browns, the Saints, Titans, Raiders, Cardinals, and then even more wins than them than 2-6. They get a better future than Minnesota, Carolina. I think they're going to have a better 5-year stretch than Chicago, Jacksonville, and Pittsburgh.
No.
I believe in that, man.
No.
I'm telling you.
No.
And you know what that means? That means you're in the top 18. You might be sitting at 18 right there. That hit a couple more draft picks, get a little luck, and this is legit.
Sean,
this
stop,
is legit.
Stop.
I get excited
No,
about this team, man.
I'm not letting you do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've been saying this. It feels like the Giants have been saying this about their young, good players every single year.
Now you actually have them, though.
Until we know who the next coach is, which the defense of Brian Daboll has been one of the most appalling things that I've seen. Oh, they're not firing Brian Daboll.
Why would they? You got his quarterback. His
nothing
quarterback's
Brian
working.
Daboll has done has actually translated to Jackson Dart playing well. Jackson Dart could not be hung out more to dry with a lack of support system than any quarterback right now in the NFL. He's got nothing. He's got an offensive line except for Andrew Thomas. It doesn't block for him. He's got Tyrone Tracy, and that's it. He's got no good receivers. It is impossible to watch. I hope that they hire a good next coach. We'll see what happens. But before we continue on, just want to remind everybody today's episode is presented by Delete Me. Delete Me makes it quick, easy, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everybody vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off of your data. Your data is a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment, but you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. The New York Times Wirecutter can name Delete Me their top pick for data removal services. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan. And when you can join deleteme.com, when you go to deleteme.com/pro, use promo code PRO at checkout. And the only way you can get 20% off is to go join deleteme.com/pro and enter code PRO at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/pros. I got 5 minutes left in me. I'm like legitimately, I can't talk. I literally can't get
We can get one more. Get out of here.
The Myles Garrett headline last week, or Jesus fucking Christ. Myles Garrett is sitting in his, you lead in the segment. I'm legitimately, I can't fucking talk right now.
Yeah, we had an insane record day from Cleveland, despite a gutting, brutal, ugly loss to the New England Patriots. Myles Garrett, 5 sacks, Browns record, and they get stopped 32-13 by New England. After the game, Myles Garrett says, "I would trade the performance for a win." I think a lot of Cleveland Browns fans would say the same. It is a bad spot to be when you put up 5 sacks in a game, still lose, and are still angry afterwards. He did it to himself. He stayed in Cleveland. Should he have held out? Should he have genuinely just held out and said, "I'm not wasting this. I'm not wasting my gift on you all doing this to me"?
Well, this is what the whole issue with the whole situation is that he had a choice to make. Does he chase the gigantic contract, or does he chase success on the field? And he has had very little taste of success on the field in terms of his team winning. He has been incredibly productive. Could potentially go down as one of the greatest pass rushers of all time.
It's a one-man army.
Yeah, he has literally zero support with the defensive linemen around him. All the linebackers on that team are banged up now at this point. He's got some solid guys in the defensive backfield, but there is nothing going for this Browns team, especially on offense. They have completely packed it in this year. They have no redeeming qualities about this team. And he could have very well have pushed for that trade and gone somewhere else. And I'm sure somebody would have paid him the same amount of money that he was looking for.
Yeah.
That's what doesn't make sense to me.
What's
He
the
set himself up for this. He had no reason to stay in Cleveland.
What's the price for wins? What was your price for wins, Mr. Garrett? That's my genuine question. Not hating on the decision. You stick with the team. You become a local legend, a hero. There's something to be said about that. There's something I respect about guys that stick out an entire career on a good or bad team. Doesn't matter to me. But this hurts me. Seeing you hurts me. So what was the price of staying in Cleveland versus the price of leaving Cleveland for the wins? Because he's talking like a competitor. He's not talking like a checked out guy that is just excited for the bread. It's like, I want to win also. Yeah, you probably could have. You could have gone to Seattle. You could have gone to somewhere else that's upstart. San Fran would have been sick. Go to Indy. You wouldn't have known they were good, but they would have been better even if you were there. There were places you could have gone that needed pass rush help, that had a better chance at winning than the Browns. There's something in the water there, man. I don't get it. It's a cursed team. They have a 10,000 plus consecutive snap career from arguably the best offensive lineman since the year 2000, Joe Thomas, who rotted away in Cleveland. And now you have the best defensive line in the NFL, or defensive lineman in the NFL since 2010. And you know what he's doing, Joe? Rotting away in Cleveland. maybe they want to do that. Maybe it'll be nice to have their statues next to each other and they could high five in bronze, and that's the situation. But I don't know why. I don't know why you would stay there and think that it would be happen. Unless he was just directly lied to. Unless the front office just directly lied to him and said, we are getting 11 wins this year. Mark it, Myles.
Well, I would think that Myles would be smart enough to look at the roster, look at the situation, and realize there was no path to competitiveness this year, no matter what they started, who they started at quarterback, whoever it was. And the problem is that this team is so crap right now. There is no path to success in the next 4 years.
Well, there's one.
What?
Sit in the backup.
I mean, but even if Shador steps in and plays and he's great, and he maybe finds that we find out that he actually is the future of the team. Yeah. Maybe that actually comes to fruition. The rest of that roster is not good enough to be a
what's Jerry Jeudy doing there,
winning
man?
team.
What's he doing there?
They should trade him. They should trade away as much shit as possible, and they should trade away Myles Garrett.
They had a good draft this year too. They had a good draft, and it's just going all for naught. And they're calling for Stefanski, who I thought was a good coach. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is just a con man also. I don't know.
Well, he's not the one who is the cause of their failure currently. It was Haslam who meddled with getting Deshaun Watson that set them up. And Haslam has spoken out on this, basically saying, I recognize that it's my wrongdoing that caused all of this.
Yeah, that guy should just go find a nice little boathouse, stay on that for the rest of spend the rest of your days there, man. You could listen to some music, you could drink some whiskey, do some fishing, maybe dance a little. Stop making football decisions. It's not helping anybody. It's hurting more people than it's helping. You on a houseboat? It doesn't hurt nobody.
All right, I got to go lay down. At Joe DeLeone, at Samson Radio, at Hex City Pod. We'll talk to you guys later.